From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Well, the weekend has finally arrived. It's not just any normal weekend. We've got Christmas coming up here. It's a Christmas weekend Monday. Happy Christmas to you all, and of course, happy holidays. Of course, then we got the New Year coming up after that. But as we go in the next few mornings, what you'll notice, and we've seen this the last few mornings, looking at some dense fog in some areas, especially the mountain valleys, the inland valleys as well, Siskiyou County. We've even seen some of it in the Sacramento Valley, especially to the south of us, closer to Sacramento, but certainly around the Chico area, Oroville, we've seen some of that fog as well. We could be looking at more of a repeat of that. In fact, many areas, especially to the west of the valley, Trinity County, not to mention Del Norte and Humboldt counties, and even parts of Siskiyou County, have been dealing with that fog, kind of just getting socked in with that in some areas here through the day. We could see that here, probably even the possibility as we go into tomorrow as well. But I do expect mainly dry conditions through Christmas. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, there are a couple of disturbances we've got to keep an eye on that could bring some of us maybe a little bit of wet weather before Christmas, which we'll get into here in a second. But the main event, the better chance for more organized rain and overall rain for everybody, will probably be somewhere around Wednesday of next week. So let's get you through the night tonight and into tomorrow. Looking at our planner there, you can see, of course, looking at dry conditions here, some fog in some areas here in the early morning hours, but looks like we are going to see some cold overnight lows. Looking at the valley, not quite as cold, but I do expect to see those temperatures upper 30s to low 40s. Siskiyou, Modoc County, obviously much cooler there. Temperatures in the 20s overnight. Even at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're still at about 36 degrees, especially in Siskiyou County, maybe even a bit colder for parts of Modoc County, and in the East Mountains also still pretty cold, even at 10 o'clock in the morning at about 34 degrees. So be sure to bundle up if you're going to be out and about in the morning hours tomorrow. There you can see the rain off to our east and now, to our south. That's over Southern California, of course, making its way into parts of Arizona and then making its way into New Mexico. So that's, of course, moving out of our area. The high clouds that we saw today are moving on out. This is some of the activity that we've got to keep our eyes on, because eventually as high pressure breaks down, it will allow these storm systems to come on through. So let's take a look at Futurecast and let's take you through the rest of the night tonight. There you can see the clear skies that we do have in store for us on Saturday. We're talking mainly sunny skies, even for parts of the coast. Saturday night into Sunday, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. So there's going to be a storm that'll push through the Pacific Northwest on Sunday. That could just clip Northern California, so Del Norte, western Siskiyou County, even swinging down into parts of Humboldt County are not out of the question here on Sunday. So we could see some showers, especially for the North Coast on Sunday. Then we go into Sunday night, it's pretty much gone, but still looking at those clouds that have moved on in. Now, Christmas morning, another weak disturbance may push through, in particular, the North Coast, once again making for maybe some drizzle or some light showers. But you can see as we take you into Christmas afternoon, it starts to dry out. However, by the time we get into Tuesday morning, once again, mainly for the North Coast, maybe even Trinity County, western Siskiyou County, a weak system pushing on through. These are very insignificant and are not enough for you to cancel any outdoor plans. And at this point, really keeping things for the most part dry, as I mentioned, through at least Wednesday. Now, as we go into Wednesday morning, there's a system approaching. Now, the timing of this is going to change. So as we go into Wednesday, I think that's the best for chance of rain for everybody. Now, we do have some blue on the map here indicating some lower snow levels than we've seen, but not terribly low. So I think places like Mount Shasta City might be pushing it to even call it a rain-snow mix. El Turris, Susanville, Chester, I think you could see at least a mix. But Bernie probably in the form of rain, and not to mention out towards Weaverville and Hayfork as well. So again, slightly lower snow levels with this system coming through on Wednesday, but still not as low as I think many of us would like to see. Now, next week, I don't really see a lot of rainfall. Now, again, we saw that on Wednesday, right? And that was the main event. Even as we go into the end of next week, we're just not seeing much heading our way. So a few systems will pass through, we'll get minimal amounts of rain, and then there you can see another storm system. Now, what we're looking at right here is a week from tomorrow. So we're still a ways out. The timing of this, the intensity of this is all going to change by the time we take a look at this, probably even tomorrow or the next few days. But we do have that overall trend of these systems that are going to essentially head their way into Northern California. But as it stands right now, it just doesn't look like there's going to be a ton of rainfall coming out of these systems. In fact, we look at the precipitation outlook, and even just this morning, there was darker green on the map here, which is better chances of seeing above normal rainfall. So we're seeing this kind of backing off a little bit as far as how much of a chance of above normal rainfall we're going to see. Bottom line, we're going to see some rain in this time frame. But as it stands right now, I'm just not too confident that it's going to be a lot of rainfall. And temperatures are still expected to be above normal, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot for us. It's just going to keep those temperatures just slightly above normal for this time of the year, but nothing terribly unusual as far as those daytime highs are concerned. The winds are something we're going to have to monitor tonight. Here's midnight tonight. Yeah, I mean, they're picking up. I mean, it's not a major wind event, but just want you to be aware that it's going to be a little gusty out there at times as we go overnight tonight and even into tomorrow morning. And those winds will be slow to subside on Saturday, but eventually by Saturday afternoon tomorrow, we'll be looking at those winds getting much calmer. So here are your wave heights. They're fairly high again on Saturday. And in fact, we look at our, in fact, we take you into Sunday. Looks like they retreat a little bit and then kind of go back. In fact, may even get a little bit higher as these disturbances kind of push on through. So here's your marine forecast. Because of those higher wave heights, we do have a small craft advisory. North winds at 5 to 10 knots, though, for your Saturday, with those waves from the north at 11 feet at 9 seconds, and from the northwest at 9 feet at about 16 seconds. Again, that small craft advisory. Tonight, yeah, there you have it. I think we can see some fog, much like we've seen the last few mornings, but it's getting colder. I do expect to quite possibly see some mid to upper 30s, maybe some low 40s in the valley. Teens and 20s for Modoc County, but more like the 20s for Siskiyou County, and some 20s making your way into the eastern mountains. Now for Trinity County, getting pretty cold too. Should drop down to the mid to upper 20s, but there you can see out in the inland areas, low to mid 30s, and some upper 30s out along the coast tonight. Let's take you into tomorrow, and it's going to be a little bit cooler out there, but I do expect temperatures to be in the upper 50s to low 60s, probably low 60s for most of us in the valley. And then there you can see struggling to get out of the 30s, I think in some cases. It's going to be quite chilly in the eastern mountains, low 40s even up into Modoc County and Siskiyou County. But for Trinity County, low 50s inland, low to mid 50s really there, and then mid 50s for the coast. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook, and it is certainly going to be cooler out there the next few days. There it is, Christmas Eve into Monday. There's your dancing Santa. Of course, delivering his gifts. I think he's doing the happy dance to let everyone know that all the gifts will be delivered by that point, and he can take a nice little break. It looks like we are going to see those mainly dry conditions. Now, again, I want to mention that Sunday, Monday morning, maybe even parts of Tuesday morning, we could see a stray sprinkle or a light shower. But the main event, the best chance for rain for everyone, will be Wednesday. And that's why I've got really the rain showers there, right? Now, let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. I don't think we're going to see any rainfall until we get into Wednesday. So we're looking at those weed disturbances kind of pushing on through. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for the North Coast. This is where I've got better chances for showers in there. There, of course, we saw that on Sunday. Monday morning, so Christmas morning, we may see some light showers. And then again, even quite possibly into Tuesday. But the better chance, as I mentioned, overall for everyone, seeing that rain. Well, this is going to be my last weather forecast for 3 days. Of course, meteorologist Brian Wilson, he'll be in on Saturday, Sunday, but he's also going to be in for me on Christmas Day. But I will see you bright and early on Tuesday morning. Of course, my new morning live show, Coffee with Kruger. Until then, have yourselves a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.